Hello, hello, hello. I am Pamela Chase, the lead cooking specialist and founder of Cook Food, where we're dedicated to keeping the art of crochet alive. And we do that by teaching the skills to women and children to boost their self-esteem and create a healthy and positive environment. So today is Wednesday, and what is on your hook today? On my hook is still the same. I'm not keep saying the same, but I'm still working on the cover up, and I will be finished soon. But I added red to it, so this is what's going on. And I was under what I was doing was I was thinking that in my mind I was trying to do it uniform, but I forgot there's nothing really uniform with crafts and things. You just do your thing and do it your way. You don't have to worry about what's this matching this or this um coordinating with that. Just do it your way and just be done with it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually adding the red to it. So this is towards the end of it. So it will be on one side it'll be mostly white, and then towards the end it's going to be red. Sleeve part will be red. On that side, some of the other parts will be red. Then it's mainly white. So and this is not for anyone, so it doesn't matter. So it's going to be red. But what we're going to do is talking about different stitches for the summer, what stitches to use, and we worked on we did the mesh. Now we're going to do fillet. Fillet is just so many different aspects to the fillet stitch or pattern. So it is something that we're going to be looking into is the fillet. Now normally the fillet is done in like a pattern. They don't use instructions or anything like that, but it's mostly like a charts or graphs, and that's how you do it. And it consists of double crochet stitches and chains to make the design. You can do it in different, excuse me, you can do it in different patterns, pictures, and things like that. Not similar to it, but your graph scans are like that, but these will have holes in them compared to the graph. That's what the filet crochet is about. And I'm looking at my source for today is the spruce crafts. So what I do is I go online, I look things up, and I bring the information to you. Some information I already have, but some information I look for because I don't know it all. So look at the experts and see what they are saying. A fillet stitch is a terrific knit crochet that uses double crochet stitches work with spaces to create fabulous graphic design. And you can spell out words and messages using fillet crochet, or you can use a technique to recreate detailed pictures. And design. Sounds good, doesn't it? This this is especially great for seasonal crochet, showcasing the different motifs of various holidays, but it also works for so many different kinds of design. It's easy to learn fillet crochet, and there's a lot you can do with the technique once you've learned. So that's what we're going to be starting to work on is fillet stitches. You can do them with clothing. You can do them with home decor, like with the tablecloths and the coasters and all those kind of things. You can do that. You can do it with the bottles, the cozies, and things too. There's a lot of things you can do with the fillet. That you can do it like wraps with it and blankets also. Just want that look to it. So that's what we're gonna ponchos is to go into the fillet. And it's a good beginner stitch, but you will have to have to learn how to feed shorts. So let's get started. Hello, Carol. How are you? I saw you on live the other day. Did you come on anymore? There's so many good stitches and good designs that you can do. But you can do your own design also. If you want to use your name, things like that, you can do that. You can do flowers. Okay, okay. So so let's get started. What are you working on today, Carol? So what we're gonna do is get started with the foundation stitch. Now with the foundation stitch, you have to determine how many blocks you want to do in a row. Then you determine the number of blocks. You multiply it by 3. Then you add whatever stitches you're going to do. Either 3 for double crochet, 1 for single crochet, 2 for half double, whichever one you do. So it depends on how many blocks you want to use. So if I want to use 5 blocks, so I'll do 5 blocks times 3. If we're going to do three, three stitches in each block, it'll be 3. If someone was 4, I may come on clean out my sewing pattern. I have some pretty, I have some pretty fabric. Okay, okay, okay. And that's what you do. So we're gonna do 5 blocks times 3. That's 15. So 15 plus 3. So it'll be 8. We're gonna do 18 stitches. And I'm gonna do the slip knot. So 1, 18. You know, one tip for the day is when you're crocheting, file your nails if they'll get caught up in the yarn. That's what I need to do. I need to file my fingernails. Hello, Eclectic Goods. How are you? So we're going to do 18 chains. Because remember, it's the number of blocks times 3 plus whatever the turning chain will be. Mhm. Okay, it's number of blocks times 3 plus 1 plus the turning chain. And that's the additional stitches you have to do. We're going to do 3 additional stitches, additional chains for a double crochet, for a turning chain or double crochet. So we're going to do 5 blocks, 18, 19, 20, 20, wait a minute, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we're going to do 19 chains. That's our female printed hairpin face lace fork. I never heard of that one. Wow. Are you going to come on later on to demonstrate? I remember the hairpin lace thing, the equipment with the thing like that, and then it had a little thing at the bottom. But I don't know what the lace forks were. Okay. So if you coming on today, I'll tune in to see what's that. If the turning chain is additional chain, you need to bring the height of the working. Okay, we all know that. You can also consider making turning changes up to your very first double crochet stitch. Yes, it's gonna be 5 blocks. No, I'm doing something wrong. So it's 5 blocks. So number of foundation chain is 5 times 3, which is 15, plus 1. Hmm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, I saw. I was when I was setting up, I saw a notification saying that you were on live. But okay, is it something I can go back and look at? Or 16. I'm sorry, we're 16. When you look at different tutorials, there are different ways of doing things, but it's only 16. And then what you have to do is know how to read a chart because they're not necessarily patterns, but it's just a chart. And we're going to do 5 boxes. Okay, thank you, Eclectic. Now, this can be a little tricky. Okay. And it's kind of like when you do it like the mesh. Look at it. Every box systems are replaced by 2 double crochets. Okay. Because it's supposed to do a double crochet. That's I don't know if you can do other things with it, but the most common is the chain and double crochet stitches. So as long as you know how to do a chain and do a double crochet stitch, you're all set. You can do bags with it too. But we did 16 chains, and I lost what I said up. I had up. But have you ever done the fillet stitch? You can do runners and um what else can you do with this? And sometimes we get these stitches confused because I was thinking that what I was doing with this was a fillet stitch. But then when I looked further, it was like, no, it's not really a fillet. It's not fillet stitch. I don't think it's a fillet stitch. Unless, see, some things have different names to them. And that's the problem. Not the problem, but that's what you have to really look at. Most of it in the tablecloth I'm finishing. Okay. Okay. Cool. And those are probably things that were done when we were learning different stitches growing up, back in the day when we were doing tablecloths and just learning. We did the fillet stitch. I'm not sure if I remember doing it when I started. Because when I started, I did tablecloths. And remember, but what I'm going to do is, in some cases, what you do is, I'm going to do, if you, where you're not having instructions, you're going to have to um, depend on the, you're going to have to depend on the charts. And what I'm going to do is do a double crochet all the way across. And then we'll do the other part. And other things that we've made. You don't always have to do a foundation row like this. You can do a foundation row. You can go right into the actual stitch when you do the foundation row. So, and reflecting, what's on your hook? When I get off here, I'm going to file my fingernails. This is what I'm going to do. But it's pretty much however you want to do it, but we're just doing it in practice right now. But what I want to do is to do an actual pattern with it. Okay. Well, I'm still with the cover up. Yeah. But also what I'm doing is I was going through old yarns and things that I had that had nice colors to them. And we donate hats and things to charity. So I started in between doing the cover up and making hats. Only thing is some of the yarn may have a smidgen of wool in it, and for cancer patients and such, you can use that wool. The wool is not something that they recommend because it can irritate some people's scalp. So what I'm doing is I'm going to skip three, and I'm going to double crochet, do three double crochets, which will be a block. One, chain three, and it's just my own pattern right here. I'm not following anything else, but just to get the idea of how you do this. Now skip three, and then I'm going to put it. And I think you might don't have to do it that way. You can just skip two, but I'm gonna skip two. I'm gonna skip two. One, two. And I'm gonna double crochet in three, and three, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and just double crochet to the end. But you can just change it as you go along. You can change the ropes because especially if you're doing a pattern, but you just have to get your the graph out of how you want it to be done. And I'm just gonna do it to the end. First one, and this is one part of it. And I'm just gonna just do it willy nilly. Not gonna be no specific pattern or anything. I'm just working on it. One, two, and third one, and one, two, three. And it's just something you can just practice with, making blocks and chains. And I don't think there's no set rule for it. I mean, there's guidance, but you can pretty much do it the way you see fit. I'm gonna do two here. One, two, three. But I'm gonna have to look more into this just to see the different things that you can do with it. And I'm gonna choose one. It's just up to you how you want it to be done. Three. Okay. 3. That's how I'm doing it. And like I said, I'm just doing it willy nilly. No specific design or anything. This is what I'm doing with it. But what I want to do next, I think what I want to do is do a chart with an actual pattern on it. And hey Paula, how are you? And do an actual um graph or whatever you want to call it, and actually follow that with other stick patterns and create beautiful design. Okay, so I think that's my next. I'm fine, thank you. It's just to find other ways of doing it, just to look into how I can do it. Thank you, eclectic. Because some of the techniques and things, by you not doing it in a long time, you have to refresh yourself on it, and that's what happens. That's what my goal is, to learn new things, new techniques, new skills. And Paula, do you crochet? 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go here. But what I'm gonna do on Friday is we're gonna do a more in depth filet pattern. This dang on nail. Mhm. And one tip about when you do the yarn is things, use a hook use a hook that's smaller than what the yarn recommends, because you want your fabric to be stiff. Mm. Question, Eclectic. I know when we first started our Willing Hands group, we had a person who made some hats for us, crochet, but they were beautiful hats. But she used a different type of hook. It wasn't a regular hook. I think it was more of a latch type hook. But the hats came were really nice. They came out really good. But I don't know if they still sell that hook or not. Do you know anything about it? Really? But I know what I did one time was I bought the Nook. That's what it's called. But that wasn't what it was, I don't believe. And I forgot the name of the hook. I think it was more like a latch hook that you can kind of you can crochet with. I mean, make crocheted items with. And the person that was doing, I think she could do that. She was actually doing those more than she wasn't using the book at that time. So I was always curious about it. And I think I looked it up on Amazon back then. It was years back. And I don't know if I don't know if I can find it on. I don't even think I can find it. So I'm just doing a basic. Yeah, and I think this is a latch hook, but it had a name to it. Let me see. Let me see if I find it because I just like the look of the hat that came from it. And but I know people use latch hook when they crochet when they do for their hair. Yeah, yeah. Because I know my daughter used to crochet her hair, her hair. So I know they use the latch hook. People use the latch hook for that, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Cooking. But it's something that I had always said I wanted to do with making certain things because of how the look comes. Not me how it looks. It's latch hook crochet needle. That's what it says needle, but we know it's not needle. But Amazon has one. Yeah. But you do it, you can do for your micro braids and all that. Yeah. Seriously. That's, I want to do it, how to crochet. And I found a tutorial for it, so I will be doing that. But you can get small for weaving hair. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure, you can also use crochet hooks, I believe, for weaving hair too. But I don't know if she used the latch hook or she used the actual crochet hook. And I'm gonna research that. They probably use latch hooks when you do the locks too. When you do the sister locks, I believe too. They're too familiar, just assuming. How to crochet with a latch hook. And there's a tutorial on I guess it's on YouTube and it's showing you how to do the crochet chain stitch. Okay. And I think you can do the bouillon stitch with it too. There's a stitch out. It's just a bouillon stitch using a latch hook and a crochet hook. I've never done the bouillon stitch, but I've seen it a few times. You learn something new every day. Just like I said, I'm just doing it. It's like going along. No specific um, pattern. Just doing it. But this can, no, not necessarily. I would need to do, no, doesn't look. It looks more like a mesh. You want to have it going into some of the other stitches so you could so it can be like a actual pattern. Are you interested in learning? Start calling you the crafting diva. I think I'm gonna need to pull out some grafting paper and try to see what I can do with this. But that's the one thing about being a crafter, and learn, you're always willing to learn something new. Because when I was growing up, that's all I did was just learn different things, and only certain things stuck with me, and some things just didn't. I think I did. I've done tatting, I've done the crochet knitting, sewing, cross stitch, rug making, needlepoint. Yeah, I always learn needlepoint and a few others. But knitting, none, knitting, cross stitch, all rug making, tatting, none of those actually stuck. Oh, also, because some of the things my mother was doing too, ceramics. But my mother still has a ashtray. Nobody smokes in the house, but she still has the ashtray. I think she still has it that she made doing ceramics. So my mother was into crafts too. She doesn't do any of that now. Try to get her to do it, but she won't. When I go over there, try to, does you want to crochet? No. But those things, a lot of those things didn't stick. The cross stitch, the needlepoint, that was too tedious. The rug making, um, knitting, couldn't get that. Um, didn't do finish tatting or the ceramic. Because I was real young when I was doing some of those. And I remember going to the 5 and 10 store. We had Murphy's and Kresge's and there's one other one. Then we had Woolworths and other stores, and you would go there and buy those things. And I was young, so I couldn't buy things like I can do now. But what stuck with me is crocheting, and for a while I put crocheting down for sewing. And for those two things, I really like doing and really had me going. But sewing, I haven't done in years. I have a sewing machine, I have fabric, I have supplies. So right now I have room really just to set up a sewing area. But I do want to get back into sewing. And now I do card making times with cards. So I'm getting back into other things, other crafts. Back in. So once you are creative, you just tend to do different things. Some things stick, some things don't. But at least you learn it. And I've always wanted, get my kids involved with that. My daughter, she did the gimp stuff. She didn't like sewing. She didn't want to learn how to crochet. And, my son, he didn't want to do none of that. So that's how it happened. That's what happens. And my niece, and she crochets and does crafty stuff. It's a family that was, some of us were crafty. And also, this month is National Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So, crochet does do a lot, help with a lot of issues, ailments. And Alzheimer's is one that it does help. The ones keeping your mind and your hands and everything active helps with Alzheimer's, helps with your brain and things like that. So that's what happens. So we're going to be discussing different things dealing with Alzheimer's and things this month. Alzheimer's and different neurologic ailments I've been affected by a lot of that, family and stuff. So that's something that's dear to me. Certain medical issues are to me very dear, near and dear to you that you want to be recognized. So that's something that you can do. Mm. Really, let's see. And this is just how I'm doing it. I'm just doing it just nearly daily. You can mix flowers and different things with it. So if anyone wants to crochet along and just make their own design, let's see if we can do that. Look on that. That's something I think is good to learn. Just something to pick you out of the norm and something different that you can have related to crochet. And who knows, maybe something that you may catch on to and really want to be continue to do. Just like, with the grafting and the different Tunisian, those are skills that, sometimes you just want to see how it goes. And you just never know. That may be just the next thing that you may be an expert in. And you never stop learning. And I think this is an interesting thing to do. And you don't always have to use the cotton thread. I know people do a lot with cotton thread with these kind of stitches. The stitch. You don't have to always use cotton thread. Because I've seen blankets that people make with the stitch. That's what I'm going to do is to do a pattern. Just let's go from there. And so, Eclectic, when the next time you'll be back on a live? I know you was on day earlier. When are you coming back? Hmm. And I think I'm finished right now, but I just wanted to come on and just talk about the basics of the filet stick. Just do an example of it's just no design or anything. I'm just playing with it just to get the feel of it. So, we chat tonight. Okay, so the eclectic goods will be on tonight, probably tonight. Make sure you just, I guess, like her, like, follow on Instagram. Follow her. She'll have a tutorial tomorrow at 2 Central, 2 p.m. Central. So make sure you follow Eclectic Good, RECLECTIC_good. Make sure you follow. If you just never know what you may learn. She does a lot of different things. She specializes in vintage crochet, but she also does other things. She has a wealth of knowledge. So check her out. So I'm gonna stop this right now. But on Friday we will go more into the stitch, the fillet stitch. We'll go more into it and talk while we're crocheting. But hopefully we have classes. We teach mainly women and children how to crochet. We also have a charity where we donate items to charity, mostly cancer, but we're starting to venture into other things besides cancer, and we sell unique items. So that's what we are doing. Okay, and McClellan Goods said tomorrow is the pineapple stitch, 1915. So I said she's it's a vintage stitching, and but so with the pineapple stitch, 1915. Okay, okay. So I will see you all Friday. So have a creative day and please be safe. Bye bye.